Hello everyone, welcome to the new class. Up till the previous class, we discussed about various applications of absorption, and I believe that you had written the notes of it. The next few topics are being cancelled. One being catalysis, then heterogeneous, homogeneous catalysis. Then the next topic which is cancelled is enzyme catalysis. All these topics are actually cancelled. Okay, so we will just understand the basics so that we can understand the in between topics which are coming. So what is catalysis? It is nothing but a substance which is added in a chemical reaction to alter the rate of reaction. Alter the rate of reaction means to change the rate of reaction, to either increase the rate of reaction or decrease the rate of reaction. So that is known as catalysis. So catalysts are the substance which are put in it. Catalysis is the process by which the chemical reaction rate of the chemical reaction is either increased or decreased. Catalysis is the process where this process occurs. So the catalyst that increases the rate of reaction is known as catalyst promoter. No need to study about it, just understand. And the catalyst which decreases the rate of reaction, that catalyst which decreases the rate of reaction is actually known as catalyst poison. Promoter promotes the reaction rate, poison decreases the reaction rate. Okay. Homogeneous catalysis, heterogeneous catalysis, it's nothing but homogeneous catalysis means reactant and catalyst are in same state of manner. So homogeneous catalysis means reactant and catalyst are in same state of matter. Means if reactant is solid, catalyst must be in solid. Reactant is liquid, catalyst must also be in liquid. Reactant is gas, catalyst must also be in gas. That is what is a homogeneous catalysis. That is homogeneous catalysis. So definitely heterogeneous catalysis will be quite different. Heterogeneous catalysis means reactant and product will be in different state of matter. Reactant is solid, product must not be in solid. Reactant is liquid, product must not be in liquid, or means it must be in any other state of matter. Reactant is gas, product must not be in that particular state of matter. So that is what is heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, now what is important for us, we will study that. Adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. How does an heterogeneous catalysis process generally takes place? There was an old theory regarding the adsorption of this catalysis of catalyst over this particular substance. It's nothing but a very quite simple theory where it was told that if a reactant is in a gaseous state of matter or it is in a liquid state of matter, then this reactant gets adsorbed over the catalyst. This reactant gets adsorbed over the catalyst. So the concentration of the reactant increases, then definitely if the concentration of the reactant increases, then definitely the rate of the reaction will also increase. Rate of the reaction will also increase. And if the rate of the reaction is also increasing, then definitely it will have heat liberation in it. Heat will liberate. If it is a heat liberating process, we know that exothermic process is the heat liberating process, and it is coming under the adsorption scenario, right? So that was an old theory. There is a new theory which speaks about the adsorption process. It's something like this. Suppose we have an adsorption. For adsorption we have this catalyst where there are some free vacancies present there, and we have these reacting molecules. So first of all, what happens? It actually happens in a 5-step process. Very first step, the molecules get diffused. Molecule, whichever molecule it is, whichever reactant it is, it get diffused, means it gets spread. Second step is the adsorption process. This molecule goes into the free vacanted catalyst. It gets linked with this adsorption. This reacting molecule just gets adsorbed over the catalyst surface. Then in that stage they will form an intermediate, just like that. This intermediate means they will have this combined form of catalyst and the reacting molecule. Then the next step, first step was diffusion, second step is adsorption, third step is adsorption of that reacting molecule, fourth step is to form an intermediate structure so that this intermediate structure can form the further product. Then when the product is to be formed, desorption process. We have told what is desorption. We had studied what is desorption. Desorption means avoidance of adsorption process. To avoid the adsorption process, that is desorption. So this desorption process takes place and the product is being separated from the catalyst. One thing I forgot to tell you, catalyst is a substance that is being added to change the rate of reaction, right? But the state of catalyst or the structure, mass, whatever is regarding the catalyst, it will not change. So by this scenario of this theory of adsorption theory of catalysis explains one thing. You can see there were some vacant molecules over here. This was at the very first step, and when it became the last step, the catalyst was the same as such. There is no change in the catalyst, means the structure of the catalyst will not change in any type of reaction, even in case of the adsorption reaction also. This is the adsorption theory. Notes of this you have to write by yourself. Adsorption theory notes you have to write by yourself. Okay. Next, the small topic, shape selective catalysis by zeolite. So what is a zeolite? What is a shape selective catalysis? Sometimes what happens, the catalysis reaction, this catalysis process sometimes depend upon the structure of catalyst. Sometimes some very rare reactions, or there are some reactions that occurs on the basis of structure of the catalyst and the size of the reactant and product. The catalyst will also always have this pore formation over it. There will be small structures, small pores over it, and these pores are present in this catalyst so that the adsorption process can happen in very easy way. If you have seen charcoal, which we say as koila, charcoal means in the sense wood charcoal. The ash that is obtained from the wood that is being burned in the ash in the fire. If you see that charcoal, if you see that type of charcoal, you can see over that charcoal small pores are present, very small pores, very small pores. This is actually to liberate out the gases present in it, also to make the adsorption process over it. Okay. So similarly, catalysts have this pore structure, and some catalysis process depend upon this pore structure of catalyst and size of reactant. So such a reaction where a shape is of major factor, where selective catalyst can only pass through a structure, just like if we say in a way that a specific key is only used for a particular lock. All keys we cannot use up for a particular lock. If we avoid the case of duplicate keys, normally if we speak in general, all keys cannot have the same lock, or all lock cannot have the same keys, whichever we say. So there is a shape selection process also, or shape selectivity in case of catalysis. So such a type of catalyst process where shape selectivity is occurring is known as shape selective catalysis, and the best example for a shape selective catalyst are zeolites. Zeolites, they have this structure which is very much resemblance with honeycomb structure. If you have seen a honeycomb, then these zeolites have this very similar structure. These zeolites are actually a three-dimensional structure of aluminosilicate. Aluminosilicate means if we have this silicon three-dimensional structure of silicon, then in some parts of silicon would be avoided, some parts of silicon would be avoided, and in that place this aluminium gets into it. Aluminium along with oxygen gets in that place. Such a structure is known as aluminosilicate structure, and that aluminosilicate structure is the zeolite. Means this zeolite have this aluminium oxygen silicon structure, aluminium oxygen silicon framework for this structure. Okay, now where are these used, where are these zeolites used? Zeolites are very much helpful in the petrochemical industry. If you want to avoid or convert alcohols means not that proper drinking alcohol but the chemical alcohol, and you have to convert that alcohol, you want to convert that petroleum in, for instance, into this petrol, then there is a dehydration process for that, and it is done by a zeolite which is known by the name ZSM5. ZSM5. No need to understand the full form or by heart the full form. Still, if you want, the full form is zeolite Socony Mobile 5. Zeolite Socony Mobile 5. Mobile company, there is a petroleum company by name Mobile. They actually were the discoverers of this zeolite. So they named this as zeolite Socony Mobile or ZSM 5. Okay. So this is also your homework. You have to write the notes. You have to prepare the notes by yourself for this. So two homeworks. One about adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. Second, the shape selective catalyst zeolites. Okay, and there is a small all these enzyme catalysis. It has been cancelled. Complete topic. No need to study. If you want, then you can study by yourself. Just like it's a structure that I just told you, lock and key method. Enzyme is just like, or catalyst is just like a key, and the reactants are just like a lock. So only a specific enzyme or specific key is used to lock or unlock the particular reactant, and when they react together to form the reaction occurs in between them, adsorption occurs between them. Enzyme will be the same, it will not have any change in its structure, but the product we will get will be different. Okay, so these are several scenarios where catalysts are used. For Haber's process, production of ammonia, iron, molybdenum, they are used as promoters. For Ostwald process is the process of formation of nitric acid, HNO3, nitric acid. For that process, the process is known by the name Ostwald process. For that, asbestos is used as the catalyst. Then contact process, which is used for the production of sulfuric acids. Haber's process is used for the production of ammonia. So each highly useful substances have the use of catalyst which is used in them, right? For contact process, vanadium or asbestos. For Ostwald process, asbestos is used. For Haber's process, iron, molybdenum, etc. are used as promoters. Okay, you write it also as homework. So that's all about today's class. Next class we will continue with the new topic. Thank you and have a nice day.